Have you ever walked past someone in need and pretended not to see them? The story we're exploring today is not just an ancient tale, it's a mirror reflecting our humanity, or lack thereof. In Luke 10, Jesus tells a parable that exposes the human heart with brutal honesty. But before you think this is just another sermon, I want to show you why this 2,000-year-old narrative is more relevant today than ever. Did you know modern studies from Princeton University prove that even religious people ignore those in need when they're in a hurry? Exactly like in the parable. If you want to discover why the righteous people of that time failed miserably, how a hated foreigner became the hero of the story, what this reveals about your life today, stay with me until the end. And if this content resonates with you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos like this. Let's dive deep. We're in Luke 10, in a tense scene. A religious expert asks Jesus the wrong question. "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Luke 10:25. Jesus, the master of thought-provoking questions, responds, "What does the law say? How do you read it?" Here comes the first shock. This theologian perfectly quotes Deuteronomy 6:5 and Leviticus 19:18 about loving God and neighbour. But then comes the trap. Who is my neighbour? Luke 10:29. And Jesus tells a story that will blow your mind. Imagine the most dangerous road in your state, the one everyone's afraid to drive at night. Now multiply that by 10. The road from Jerusalem to Jericho was called the Way of Blood. 17 miles of deadly curves, cliffs and robbers. When Jesus mentions this road, his listeners got chills. It would be like me saying the most violent neighbourhood in your city. The victim, beaten, naked, bleeding. We don't know if he was rich or poor, Jew or foreigner, and that's the genius, it could be anyone. The priest, first to pass by. Shocking detail, he didn't just see, but passed by on the other side, Luke 10:31. Know why? Priests made the equivalent of 6,000 month today. They were more concerned with rituals than people. Sounds like some religious leaders today, doesn't it? The Levite, second to pass. Here it gets worse. He stopped, looked, and walked away, Luke 10:32. Worse than ignoring is seeing the need and choosing not to help. How many of us have done that? The Samaritan, unlikely hero. Now comes the bombshell. Samaritans were so hated that Jews would take detours lasting days to avoid their territory. A document from that time, Dead Sea Scrolls, called them children of darkness. And it's this rejected man who becomes the example. The Samaritan's radical actions, saw, didn't ignore, felt compassion, gut-wrenching empathy approached, risked becoming the next target. Treated, used his first aid kit, wine sus antiseptic, oil sus natural painkiller. Transported, put the man on his own donkey, imagine the smell of blood. Paid, 2 denarii, 2 days' wages, about $160 today. Promised more, took unlimited responsibility. Shocking modern data. A Princeton study showed 80% of seminary students in a hurry ignore people in need, exactly like the priest and Levite. In the US, a Pew Research study reveals 60% of churchgoers only help if they're certain of the need. Jesus is challenging us to go beyond. Soul-piercing questions. How many wounded have you ignored this week? If your church closed tomorrow, who in the community would miss it? Who are your Samaritans, those you despise but are doing good? This story ends with a stab at religious pride. Jesus doesn't ask who was neighbourly, but who became a neighbour. God's kingdom isn't about pretty speeches, but hands dirty with oil and wine. Final challenge, next time you see the homeless man reeking of urine, your depressed co-worker, that difficult family member, remember, it's not about who deserves, but who needs. If this video moved you, share it, because the world needs fewer religious people and more good Samaritans. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button and turn on notifications for more content that turns faith into action. Now the ball's in your court. Jesus didn't say admire the Samaritan. He said, go and do likewise. What will you do today to put this into practice? Comment below.